I wanted to ask you a simple question. We all know he's never going to get let go. Cashman's there forever. Is there anything that you think may happen that they would ever let Cashman go?
I think he is respected by the Steinbrenner family. They know that every year they have a chance to win the World Series. They haven't done it since 2009, so that's a little bit of a fly in the ointment. You blame Cashman totally. That's where it gets a little sticky with the Yankees, because every time I've spoken to Aaron Boone on the side, no cameras rolling, anything like that, he insists that he's making the decisions. And I believe it's collaborative. I don't believe he's totally making it on his own. Now, once he gets to the dugout, he probably is making it on his own, but then it becomes a case of semantics. He's making the decision based on information that's handed down from the front office, based on their reams of information that they give him, the lanes for certain pitchers that will be most effective. In this day and age in sports, it's hard to point the finger at a specific person and say it's their fault. I think that Aaron Boone deserves some of the blame. The front office deserves some of the blame, because when you're collaborative, it's hard to say that's the reason. And when you say, will Cashman ever lose his job? Well, the way it's set up now, if Cashman ever lost his job, one of his lieutenants, like a Michael Fishman, who's been there forever as his right-hand guy, his analytics genius, would likely be in line to get the job. Or one of the other people that are heavy into analytics. It's just funny to me, and it seems like I sound like a broken record. If Boone ever lost his job, you'd get a clone of Boone. And if Cashman ever retired, you'd get another analytics-based guy. What do you think Andrew Friedman is running in L.A. with the Dodgers? That is an analytics-based team. You don't think that Dave Roberts is operating off a script? A collaborative script with the front office? Come on. Of course. Even the Brewers, right? The Brewers yesterday, they opened with an opener. You think Pat Murphy, an old-time guy who spent most of his career coaching in college, came up with, let's start an opener for an inning, and then we'll bring in Priester after that? No, it's dreamed up by people in the front office that have access to information. And then they suggested to Pat Murphy, and Pat Murphy bought in. Just like when the Yankees started Davey Garcia over Jay Happ in that playoff series. Boone could say it was his idea, that he made the decision, but I'm sure the idea came from up high. Now, what do you think of this? And Boone's in lockstep with the front office, so it's hard to say your fault, that guy's fault. It's everybody's fault. It's a league-wide fault, because I think we trust what's on the paper more than we trust with our eyes now. I'm sorry. I think that's it. And all the managers that are going to get all these open jobs, they're probably going to be young guys that will be very, very clued in and connected to the numbers and the analytics, which is not a bad thing. But I think a manager should be free to go with his gut. And I'll quote what Brian said on our show many years ago, 5-6 years ago. I said, can Aaron Boone operate off his gut? He goes, absolutely, but he better be right. Because if he operates on his gut and it doesn't work, he's going to have to answer to why he did it. That's a lot of pressure on a manager. You want to keep your job, too.